Hey, afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching all over the world. My name is Naomi Chitchatwithomy, and we're back here on another episode of Inclusive in Diversity, right here on Salto TV. And today we're going to be diving into the topics that are sensitive, but we need to talk about it. And we're going to be talking about mental health, spirituality, especially in the African diaspora community. And then to handle these topics today, I have a specialist, the professional person to handle the topic. So it's exciting. Before we waste more time, let me introduce you to Gordian Ejioju. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you today, sir?
I'm fine.
Thank you so much for being here in the studio. We've been planning this and we made it. By the way, it's the King's Day here in Amsterdam, so we still make it. We are here. Yeah. And sir, let's get into it like this says. So what does cultural sensitive healthcare and spirituality, what does it mean for you?
Thanks for having me. I'm glad I'm here today. It's also a special day for Catholics about the Pope, the burial.
Yeah.
Personally, from profession, I'm what they call spiritual caregiver.
Yes.
That is, we can call it chaplain. Chaplain for Africans in diaspora.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands. Related to mental health, in my study also, we're educated with mental health.
Okay.
Like the psychologist. So, well, for me, it is important topic, especially the last years.
Okay.
Mental health has been a problem all over the world.
Yeah.
And in this country, the Netherlands, the last few years, we have been talking about important topics like colonization, racism, slavery past, the historical harms Black people faced. And I noticed when those topics have been treated, debated in the society by the politicians, a lot of Africans, both those who are living in South America,
yeah,
for the 400 years.
Slavery, yeah.
All those topics raised the trauma that has been passed
for generations, yeah.
For generations, and we Africans who came here, those topics also brought us in a kind of confrontation with the children of those who were made slaves. Some were saying we sold them. Some were saying we never said sorry, things like that.
Repatriation, so the repatriation and acknowledgement of this, you mean?
Yeah, but it's from Africans themselves, not from the
people, yeah,
who did it.
Yeah.
So they're saying, so all those discussions brought a challenge on psychological mental issues, because personally I didn't know anything about slavery when I was in Africa.
Yeah.
Until I came here in Amsterdam and I saw the people and I started hearing the story. So it brought us into a really serious spiritual, mental challenges. And we saw it increase. Not only
over the time that since you've been here?
No, it increased the last few years.
Oh, wow.
Mostly. Not only by migrants, but also by Dutch people. So and I think worldwide it's now a serious topic by World Health Organization. So it made me shift from my pastoral work to psychological mental care.
Wow.
For Africans here. Because I see their heads were full. You need to create space in order to guide them more. So it becomes really the center of my work.
Wow, nice. Maybe we can go a little bit, because I like the introduction. When we speak of Africa, where are you from in Africa?
I'm from. I used to tell the Dutch people where the shell is in Nigeria.
So they know it is, but everybody knows.
Everyone know where the shell is.
Yeah, wow.
I'm from Nigeria, yeah, West Africa.
And which part in Nigeria? Because it's a huge country, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. It's from southeast.
Oh, nice.
Naturally, Imo State and specifically Oluzon.
Oluzon.
Everybody in Nigeria knows Oluzon because it's the hottest place in Nigeria.
It's like hot, like in terms of the sun, or it's the bubbling.
Conflict, yeah,
okay.
We had serious
conflict is going
on. Yes.
Wow. And you mentioned that you started with you are a pastor.
Yeah, I'm a pastor. Actually, I'm a trained Roman Catholic theologian.
Okay.
Yeah, and I worked for many years as a city pastor of Amsterdam and city pastor of Rotterdam.
Oh, wow.
Taking care of also drugs and alcohol addicts and every problem in the society.
Yeah.
If you work in both cities, you come in confrontation with people who are facing challenges.
Wow.
But for the last years, since 2013, I focus in working for Black people because I see them as the people who were really not understood,
yeah,
marginalized, with all the stories around them.
Yeah.
And especially when I contact my Dutch colleagues, the white people,
yeah,
they always tell me we don't understand them so much, so you guys have to go and work for them.
So there's this big gap.
There is big gap.
Wow.
There is big gap. And the gap is understandable.
Please, why? In your view, why would you think that, why that? Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't understand it too. After consulting a lot, psychologists, psychiatrists, professors at the university, in the hospitals, health professionals, and they were telling me the same, even those who do charity work, like you have the diaconal work from Catholic Church and Protestant. They were telling me we don't understand them, so they are too complex for us.
Wow.
I was like,
what does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Complex,
then,
yeah.
They gave me examples of why. Like an African will come to you and say, please, I want to learn computer lessons. And you're an organization, you go and start looking for money. You tell them, okay, if you're about 10 or 15, I will write a project. And I get the money and you come and take the lessons.
Yeah.
So they will come then with 10 people the next day who are interested in it. And then they will go and write a project plan, get the money, and then tell them, okay, it's 15 lessons you have to face. And then by the first lesson, there are 45 Africans. By the second lesson, they reduce to 30.
Interest.
And by before the fifth lesson, only two are
two left, yeah.
And these people have to pay
for
back the funds, the money they receive, because they promise they will train
15 people
nowadays.
Two.
So, and they got tired of this. So they started, when they come, they don't want to help them. So when I heard all these examples, there are many like that, I told them, okay, maybe I have to go and work for them. I understand them. That's what I thought. Even you find out it's not as easy. I started with them, and I had the same experience. I didn't understand it.
Wow.
So I was like, what's going on here? So it was when I realized that my studies, actually I'm like a Western in my thinking.
Wow.
I shifted from my culture back to Western
Africa.
culture.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and cleanse a lot of things from my Western culture, and you can say upgrade my African culture.
You bring up back the root.
The root.
Yeah.
But it was a really painful process.
Wow.
Really, it took me years.
Wow.
And it was painful. I focused in it. I really concentrated.
Yeah, because you want to give back to the community. Like somehow you
I want
as
to
a black
understand
person, yeah.
myself.
Oh, wow.
Even to understand myself anymore.
Wow.
So from there, I started doing the work, and then I understand then the white people, the Western people who said we don't understand them. Then I understood them. And they also told me we have waiting lists on our own people, on healthcare. And to work for Africans, we have to go back to school and study. And we're not interested in going back to school.
Well, at least they are honest.
Yeah, they are honest.
They're honest.
These are professionals, academic people.
Yeah.
They said before I can work for them, I have to go, because I don't know where they come from. I don't know what they are used to.
Yeah.
I don't know their culture.
Yeah.
I don't know
what they want, really.
What they want. Well, I mean, what gives meaning to their life.
Yeah.
So I have to go and
that's
study.
really painful. If you, especially you being there and seeing how they express their opinion and frustration. They want to help, but they can't.
They can't, exactly. So I become actually a bridge builder since that time between Africans and the healthcare sector, lobbying for policies
to be more friendly towards...
to accept the cultural sensitive care as part of healthcare in Netherlands. Because the education, healthcare, everything is done from Western perspective, yes, and culture. And we who are educated in that, we also
become
think
them,
like them. So when we have to go back to our own culture, it becomes a problem. But if it is recognized by this
the Western society, where we live, society, where we find ourselves, where we find ourselves,
and our population is increasing. Like in Amsterdam, more than 54% of people here in Amsterdam are migrants background.
Wow, that's huge.
So
wow, that's a big. It's a problem that has to be solved.
Yes,
has to somehow.
And a lot of research for the past 40 years, 35, 40 years, shows that those migrants who came here early, like the Moroccans, they have this problem, but they were not understood and they were not treated. Now they are old people.
Pass it on to trauma.
Yeah.
The trauma, they don't integrate. It's because there's always that gap, right? There's also like ongoing crisis we have, like when the government is saying like the immigrant needs to integrate, but there's no, what does that even mean? You know, like they keep saying you have to conform to our society and integrate, but I think by definition they're not even giving explanation what it is that they're talking about.
Yeah, the integration, they also means assimilation, taking over the whole cultural way of things.
Yeah.
But we know, like the countries that Dutch colonized, like
Suriname,
they are integrated in the Dutch and they speak the language, but still, the Suriname's culture is a problem. For them. For both sides. Like we have these things where they took from Africa, like African religion. You know, the Winti issue is still a problem in this society for Suriname people, divided, and also for Dutch. So it is the issue of integration, or call it assimilation, does not solve the cultural problem.
Wow.
Because culture is very deep.
It's deep. It's your identity. It's kind of identity. If you say like people's culture, it's your like your DNA or your identity. It's the way of life, right?
Yeah.
This is the way of life of people.
In culture is like I describe it in one of my books. It's something that is invisible. You don't see it, but it is things that make you do what you do.
Wow.
It's only when you have the external expression like clothes or food that people can see.
Yeah.
But it's like I used to, the example of, I think for me is the best metaphor for that. It's like a plant. You know, when you walk on the road, you see the plant, you see the leaves, you see the branches.
Yeah.
we know what kind of plant or tree it is. But the whole thing that keep the plant alive is the root.
Yeah.
Nobody sees the root.
Yeah.
So what is happening inside the ground, how the roots get the food, drink,
Nobody knows. Yeah.
nobody knows, nobody sees it.
Yeah.
The fight, it goes inside the ground to get food, and all the animals under the ground, battling with the roots.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody sees it.
Internal.
We only look at the fruit,
external,
and we can judge and say anything.
Yeah.
So we human beings, we receive our culture right from our mother's womb.
Wow.
That is where we are formed.
Yes.
And from there, we receive it when we are born.
Yeah.
The whole environment we are born in, the family, the community, they bring us up. And those things are not visible.
Yeah.
You take it in, it's about the spirituality, which is religion too. It's about the way you dream. It's about the rituals you have. And it's about the way you communicate and the language. So in short, it is...
It's you.
It's you.
It's you.
It's
you.
It's really you. It's
this is definitely, the culture is you.
It's you.
It's you.
Thank you.
It's you. And talking of, wow, thank you, because you've taken me like deep as well. Even listening to you, it makes me to have like a lot of questions. And because if we go into society, we always think we don't understand each other, and everybody is moaning, but nobody is communicating, you know? That's from the perspective of what I'm understanding from you. I would like to ask this follow-up question. Being through what you've been through, and now you are in the place where you realize like this gap, what's missing. Can you please tell us like what did you find out? Like why this disconnect?
Yeah, you use the word communication. It's a difficult question. Right?
Sorry.
It's okay. You use the word communication. Disconnect.
Disconnect. Yeah.
You know, what I found out is we often doesn't know what communication means.
Yeah.
If we understand it, we know that now I'm talking here, and you and me, we understand something from each other. Miracle is happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's my discovery. Really, understanding the other person is a miracle.
Wow.
Because if you look at who we are, as a Christian, I believe we are made in the image of God. Okay? I'm explaining something with this.
I'm listening, sir.
The image of God, you and me, no human being ever lived has seen God.
No.
So, and we are made in His image. We don't know the language He speaks. We don't know how He looks like. Yeah. We don't know what He's like.
Is, yeah.
We don't even know Him.
Yeah.
But we are
believe
His
it.
image.
Yeah.
And He is in us. He's in me and you.
Yes.
So, and we communicate with Him and He communicates with us.
Somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Somehow, yeah.
So when me and you, who are, say, communication is spiritual thing, because the talk I'm talking, you don't see anything.
You hear it, sound. That's it. You hear the sound.
That's what you get. So even non-verbal, you know, it's something you feel. It's emotions, and so if you can get something out of it, we can use the same word, but different understanding of that word.
Yeah.
Especially in another cultural context. So that communication, if it works well, we connect.
Yeah.
And that is when the miracle has happened. If it doesn't work well, we don't connect, and that's normal. That's actually the way it's supposed to be.
Wow.
You remember the Tower of Babel, where everybody started talking
the different, that's where it starts. That's what they send That's where it all started, yeah. But the thing also, like you said, like language, it's another thing. But everybody, in a way, you can go to China, you still find your way, you still communicate without understanding each other.
Exactly.
So I understand what you're saying. See, see,
You got it.
I understand what you're saying. So, but in this, like you said now, because there was a book also that I read, and there's some articles I saw from Suriname, a lady that posted on LinkedIn, and then she posted a picture of a older person looking into the mirror. So, and in the mirror, she saw the childhood and the trauma. So, it's like you're grown up, but when you go look into the mirror, you see that person and all the trauma from the childhood. So, he's saying, like, from what I get from it is like, no matter how grown up you are, you still always have that trauma of childhood, and that is the trauma they feel from slavery. Like they say, oh, a lot of Suriname, a lot of these people that come from slavery culture cannot forget what it is. About the slavery, but she said like the wound is being passed on, the trauma is passed on from one generation to another generation and another generation. So it's deeper, that it's something that needs to be addressed. Yeah. So in your view, what do you think about this? How you say about this?
Yeah, there are those things we call historical harms, inheritance. Sometimes we think past is past. That is not true. Issue like trauma is something that when it happens, it stays in the body. It never leaves. Anytime something happened to you, you say, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Or you have that kind of exclamation.
Yes.
Trauma has taken place. Or these things we see in the social media, all those violent or things happening.
Yeah.
When you look at it,
trauma is happening too.
Yes, trauma is happening because your body is recording it. Wow. It's seizing the. Sometimes people only think when you have accident and they shake you that it has happened. No, anything that gives you shock or exclamation. Whether you look at something and
you fringed.
Then it enters the body and sees in your muscles.
Yeah.
The only way to release it is talking and exercise, like dancing. We used to say, Black people, our hospital is dance. Singing.
Yeah.
It helped us a lot. So the things that happened with our forefathers, all those historical things, those village war they fought, those slavery, things that happen in the family, we are not used to talk about them, and we're also not used to record them.
Like in West, like the way you see it.
They will go back to their family history, even 1,000 years ago. They know what
happens.
And then you see where it is working. That's why they know about trauma. And for us, when we come to that of trauma issues, what West call trauma, we call it demonic possession.
It's the demon, it's the devil.
Yes, it's the devil. And we look for juju man
to cure and pray, miracle to make a miracle to wave it away.
Exactly. Or they kill a goat and do all those things. So that the spirits can be at peace and live, or lower
the fight.
The fight. So. But we know that those rituals doesn't end. No. It continues.
How long?
Another generation continues.
And it's true, though. It's true.
It's a big difference between our thinking and our approach and Western one.
It's true.
And this is also one of the hindrances why Africans are not seeking help. They prefer to buy tickets here, go to that church in Nigeria, South Africa.
Yeah, wow.
Stay for weeks, pay thousands of dollars by the foreign affair hotel department.
Yeah.
And then they come back here and the problem continues.
Never stop. So it's
never stop. So anyway, and they don't want to talk about it too.
So, so let me go because now it's good that we know in medicine you diagnose the disease and then we find solutions, right?
Yes.
And that's how we go.
Yeah.
And in your experience, because you said you work with especially the black. Should I say black or expat a diaspora? Let's just because diaspora include a lot. Or how is it better to phrase it?
In fact, I also stand for this because we say Black Lives Matters.
Yeah.
So we accept black.
Yeah.
As I call it.
As I call it. So because some people that Black Lives Matters, right?
Yes,
so because it says it,
yeah,
we agree. Like, especially like and the thing is, you go to Black Americans, you go to anywhere like the black that is the thing of the shame. Like men needs to be strong and men don't cry. It's like you said, it's also indoctrinated in the DNA. You cannot say it's the thing like if you talk about emotion, it's a weakness, which is like for me, I'm always like men should cry because we are all humans, we all have emotions, we should go through all the different emotions as a human being. So it's the face of life. And dealing with the diaspora and the black people that you deal with, you deal more with men, women, children, or everybody in total, or you focus on men or
everybody in total. I started with women.
Okay.
Because that was 2012. Because through my research in 2009 and further, I discovered that black women are single mothers, migrants.
Yeah.
They were having the toughest time in this country. They are the lowest, they are the poorest.
Wow.
With their children. So I started with them. From there, they pleaded me to help the men.
The men as well.
I said, I don't have the capacities, too much work already. And I was having 500 women.
500?
Yes, in Amsterdam Southeast.
Wow.
In Rotterdam, they had 1,900.
Wow.
So...
that's like 2,000, like that's victims or the people, human being you're dealing with? Like more than 2,000?
Yeah. Because...
wow!
Then I created
the safe space for them.
Exactly. And they are
safe.
Yeah. But they were doing most of the work. I was there as a
guidance,
spiritual support. Yeah. I facilitate them to heal themselves. So during the process, they came to tell me about the men.
Wow.
That if the men are not helped,
the women cannot get better.
The women cannot get better and the children cannot get better.
It's true. It's a family.
And then that made me encourage some other men to take up men. So some people took up men issue. In Rotterdam and in Amsterdam, there is this Men for Better Life.
Wow.
It's also a forum created for men. I gave them training last 2 days, on Thursday, on loss, grief, and pain.
Wow, those are heavy.
It was heavy, yes.
Those are heavy.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are watching this now because it's a good way to also reach them. I think it's also, that's why we're here, to spread even the word more. In terms of men, if they are looking at you now, because all the men looking, what would you like to say from what you learn by these interactions in the seminars and all your experience? What would you say to them if they're here now? Because everybody have a trauma, everybody have something. Like, what would you like to say to men out there?
The reality of men here is that this society, especially from the migrants for black men, is not really welcoming for them. That's one thing we know. Because the society see them as irresponsible people.
Wow.
Yeah, they pregnant the women, they don't care about the children and women. That's the image
that they see of black men.
Yeah. and is affecting them also in the policies made. Most of the local government or national government doesn't have real policy for families.
Nee. In Africa, like when you say in Africa we're family people, you are like you stick together, you pray together, you this, but and then everybody comes here. Is the society is like it's so
there is no place
no
place for family. So and men, especially African men, black men, feel really responsible for his family.
Yeah.
No matter what. But here, because of the whole situation, because of the also historical stories of slavery, how men were treated in the slavery time, in the plantations, men are fighting. Actually, men lost their identity.
Wow.
As an African man.
Wow.
You lose your identity, you have to find yourself back. So that's what I'm seeing. But I thank God we have that knowledge now. Because before we didn't know what was going on until I started asking the policymakers in the local government and national government. I was hearing all these things I'm hearing. And then I started thinking, okay, men must take responsibility for their own life in order to take for their family. So what I have to say to them is, because I also went through process.
Wow. So you can say man. As a black, you went through all the journey, so you understand. So that's why you could connect with them. Wow.
I know what it. Especially when it comes to divorce, then the children goes to the woman.
Not in all cases. No, not in all cases.
No, often.
Often.
Let's use the
majority way. So that's
because women is weaker and the children are weaker and the men can find their way. So those shows alone the situation of men. So what I encourage men to do is to start talking. Speak out what is in them. Seek help. They don't know that if they don't do that, it retards their life.
Wow. It limits them.
It limits them a lot. Only when you see it, you can know. But when they go and speak, get support, get psychological.
Don't be ashamed. They should, when they start to take the courage, because it takes courage. It
takes courage, yes.
It takes courage.
And when they get it, then they will know, oh no, I've wasted a lot of years of my life.
Wow.
By not doing this early. So that's my advice. And what I've been doing for the past 3 years, I trained 200 black people.
Wow.
On education on mental health for Africans.
I was about to ask about, because like you've learned something that is invaluable. Is it what you're gonna like? It's so valuable. I think it's something that needs to be further developed. In especially you said like we're learning their way. I think also there could be reverse way, like where there's a platform and schools doing more research on this. If this is a big gap, I think it's something that we should develop more on education-wise and more research. So in terms of your skills that you have, do you work with universities in terms of like, maybe this is something new academically that we could start studying as well?
Thank you. I started with a friend, African Black People's Clinic, African Clinic in Amsterdam Southeast, by January this year.
Wow, well done.
And thank you. And the idea is to have it's just Black people anyway, is the focus, but we have our people coming in. We also collect different kind of disciplines and professionals like physiotherapists looking at the body and the effect of this trauma.
Traumas,
And I'm a spiritual care, and then we have psychologists. We also have doctor.
Wow, so it's a research, general. Like a big research.
It's a big place because the life of Black people is not really researched by Black people. So what we are doing there, we are collecting data to see how we can really help Black people heal. One thing I discovered in all my work, I've been doing my work as spiritual care for 30-something years in this country. One thing I discovered is Africans, they don't want to be here, they want relief.
Like a quick fix.
Yeah. Just healing, you have to go down sometimes, down to the
You have
roots.
to go back all the way,
Yes. And going back to the roots
it's a work.
means
you have to do the work.
The family. And in that process, there are things you have to get rid of in your family.
The baggage.
Exactly.
The baggage.
And some of them are, almost all of them are afraid when they leave those baggage setbacks.
Who they are.
Who they are. They see it as who they are. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when they leave it, they will lose the contact with the family and they lose their identity.
So it's a big burden.
So it's very big challenging. So I call it the stomach and navel system culture.
Culture, yeah.
In the stomach, we carry our whole family, both living and
dead. Yeah.
Because we don't call them dead. invisible family members.
They are spiritual with you, right?
They are present.
They are spiritual in spirit.
And we carry them, and with our navel, we are connected to our roots.
Yeah.
Even if we live 10,000 kilometers away from it,
we're
always thinking about them.
Yeah.
If my brother 7,000 kilometers away from here, if I hear he's hungry, he didn't eat,
you will provide.
My food I have before me,
you will give him.
I cannot eat it anymore.
Yeah.
If I have only 50 euro,
you send.
I share. So, and those things really, it sounds very simple, but it causes a lot of setback for building up your life in future.
Yeah.
Because that 50 euro,
you can invest.
I can invest it.
But I think, and it's good that you mentioned, because this is a big thing in Africa. And you know, Black community, because it's Black American, even India, especially diaspora, like I call it the South. Maybe I can say the South and to the South. You know, community culture. Because here it's like gazing, that's it.
Yeah, individual.
It's so shocking though, and in the way I still like the community. I think for me, when I see like the way like we live in the West and how it's individual and me, I'm shocked, you know, because I think, oh, that's too much. I think maybe a balance of both, like you said.
That's what we are researching on. So now we are researching to find a way. How can this community culture, living in individual culture find their balance for their personal self-leadership?
Yeah.
So you can build your life and you can be able to help others pull them up.
Yeah.
That is part of the research we are doing in the place too.
Thank you so much. We have so much things, but the time is not our friend. But like you said, you have to come back because we still need to dig further. And the research, at least where you are now with the research and moving forward, we still need to make an appointment for that but this has been wonderful. It's enlightening because we hear the story. You mentioned you have a book. So if people wants to get your book and they would like to read more about this, where can they find the books?
Thank you. I wrote 5 books last year, and they're in Amazon.
Okay.
With my name, Gordian Ejioju.
Okay.
One of the book is where I really made it clear for Black people.
Okay.
Racism doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We have to really get rid of that
ideology
and find out what is the problem they call racism.
Yeah.
So because I went to court 15 times in this country against universities, against government institutions.
Wow.
And I know what it cost me until my last court 2 years ago. I realized, this is a made up.
Yeah.
To keep us
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's systematic way to keep us where we are.
When they chip you that, you go and start fighting yourself, and then your days goes, energy goes. Yeah. So those are the kind of things I really write about, and also how this racism thing will work. I call it Evo. So my books is in Amazon.
Yeah, and
And I will give my
like the bio link. So we're gonna put all the bio links to his books and the contact as well. You can see it on Salto, and you get all the information if you need to contact him. And he has an NGO as well that you're still working. What's the name of the NGO before?
The NGO, the one I said I started to work for women is Migrant Mother and Child, Migrant Mother and Kind.
In Nederland, you motivate, Migrant Mother and Kind, so you can find it.
So Peace Servant is the name of my company.
Peace Servant.
And God Peace Ministry is the name of
your church. Oh, nice.
It's the education ministry.
Nice. Thank you so much for being here. And the time flies, but time is not our friend. And it's been another wonderful episode here in Unity in Diversity. We talk about mental health, culture, and inclusive. We need to raise each other and understand communication. Like I said, it's God. So thank you so much, and I'll be right back again. I'm still your one and only Chitchatwithomy, and my guest is Mr.
Gordian Ejioju. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Remain blessed.
Remain blessed too. Bye. Thank you.